I hesitated, but I had to. This is from Tyler. I am a Nebraska. I can't talk today. I am a Nebraska fan, Tyler writes, and I acknowledge that this is putting the cart way before the horse. Yes, it is. But how good does TJ Lateef have to be down the stretch to make him a serious candidate to supplant Dylan Raiola next year? I anticipate this will not be a question in a few weeks because I'm sure Lateef will have some freshman moments against good defenses, win or lose. They play Penn State and Iowa, by the way. And I think Dylan will be the QB next year, despite his brother decommitting. I'm just curious where the hypothetical bar is for a guy like Lateef to come in and potentially supplant a five-star with a lot of potential talent. I'm sure this can be applied to other teams across CFB at any position. That's right, Tyler. It can. And so this is not necessarily a Nebraska-only question, but we can use this specific situation because it is educational. So for those who don't know, Dylan Raiola got hurt in the USC game. He's out for the year. TJ Lateef comes in. His first start was against UCLA. He played really well. It was 13 of 15, very efficient, and looked good. He's now got to play Penn State, and then he's got to play Iowa. If he balls out against both those defenses, there will be an interesting conversation to be had, and it's not necessarily because of anything anybody did wrong. It's because of what somebody did right. It's because TJ Lateef played really well. And the conversation is this, and I realize there's a lot to this because Dylan Raiola's brother Dayton just decommitted from Nebraska, and people are drawing all sorts of conclusions.
Let's also be realistic, too. Dylan Raiola isn't just a five-star prospect. Like, his arrival at Nebraska was a moment.
Correct. And he's a legacy. His father played there. His uncle works there. Yes. Those are all things that matter. So what does it mean if TJ Lateef is awesome against Penn State and against Iowa and they win? Well, here's what it means. It means that TJ Lateef's going to have a decision, which means Matt Rhule's going to have a decision, which means Dylan Raiola is going to have a decision. And so all of these things are interconnected. Because if TJ Lateef balls out, guess what? All the other programs in college football that need a quarterback are going to go, Dylan Raiola is going to be back next year. That dude looks pretty good. Can we get him?
It's funny that you say that, Andy, because
not Dylan Raiola, but TJ Lateef I'm talking about.
It's funny you say that because as you were reading the question, I was like, this is like a very 2015 question because if TJ Lateef balls out, he might be like Baylor's starting quarterback next year. Like that doesn't like the assumption that there's going to be some sort of fall camp battle next year between these two. I think if TJ Lateef balls out, that means that one of them's not on the team next year. Like,
right. It means that somebody's starting somewhere else next year because they have two starter quality quarterbacks, and the market says you can't keep two starter quality quarterbacks unless you're willing to overpay one of them.
Now, the interesting question off of that is, and this is just a hypothetical question to you, how much better does Lateef have to be than Raiola for Matt Rhule to go a different direction program-wise? Do you think if he's 1% better, it's a no-brainer, or does he have to be 20%?
No, it'd have to be overwhelmingly better.
Okay. Because of the implications that would mean for the direction of the school. Because Dylan Raiola isn't just a really good player. He's the type of person that is supposed to change the guard there. Like when you think about how much his commitment meant and how much it's like symbolically represented for the growth of Nebraska. Like, I don't think moving on from him is as simple as, well, the backup's better. Like it might be like as your backup.
Exactly. And that's why I said it in the order that I said it.
Yeah.
Lateef will have a decision. Rhule will have a decision. Then Raiola. I think unless Raiola just decides he wants to be somewhere else, which we don't have any indication of that. I would think he's the favorite no matter what, unless Lateef is just, look, if Lateef is the best you've ever seen for these next 2 weeks against this defense that's not that great, but has lots of NFL players on it.
Yeah.
And the Iowa defense that is great. Well, okay, then we'll have a different conversation. But I suspect, as Tyler pointed out in his email, that there will be some freshman moments here.
He has to be sensational for this to be a thing. Not good.
Yes.
He has to be sensational. Yeah.
Yes. I do suspect, though, that there will be a lot of other teams watching this performance this week and next because everybody's looking for a quarterback.
Always.
Everybody's always looking for a quarterback.
And if it does happen and he does transfer and he goes somewhere else and Raiola stays the starting quarterback at Nebraska, which is probably the BetMGM favorite in terms of scenarios at the moment, you better be damn sure that he doesn't end up being better than Raiola, because then that becomes a black check on Rhule's decision-making. Fair or not.
Well, it's like the Dwayne Haskins, Joe Burrow thing. Was the Dwayne Haskins, Joe Burrow decision wrong in the moment? Didn't seem like it.
No.
But it apparently was.
It certainly was the wrong decision. Now, the thing that people forget about that scenario, and I had a front row seat to this, was Joe Burrow wasn't sensational his first year at LSU.
Right. So, right. He was pretty good, but he was not great. Dwayne Haskins was really good right away as a starter.
So when you put yourself back in the Ohio State staff's position, they made that decision based on the evaluations of the following season. What Joe Burrow ended up doing 2 years later was completely foreign to them because they didn't see that person. So, but could you imagine if Dwayne Haskins didn't become a first-round pick himself, like what people would have thought? Like if Dwayne Haskins would have just been fine, but they chose a first-round pick, so it like made it okay. But by the time
it's still been relitigated, even though they both were first-round picks.
And then by the time Joe Burrow had his Heisman season, Justin Fields was playing there, and he ended up being a first-round pick too. So like, but like in this scenario, I don't know if Justin Fields is popping through the door. So like, you might be way worse off if you're Nebraska if you let the wrong one walk in this hypothetical way, 5 steps ahead of the conversation.
But this is and the thing is, like, as Tyler said, this is not exclusively a Nebraska. Like this is going on everywhere. This is going on at every school. And it's, like the Ole Miss situation with Trinidad Chambliss and Austin Simmons this year. We need to know the outcome of the Lane Kiffin decision before we can know anything else. But like, is Austin Simmons back?
Somebody will pay off.
Chambliss, I believe, is out of eligibility. So
yeah.
But now that you lost your job, like there's so much that goes on. We had the story about Sam Levitt. Pete Nakos and Steve Wilfong wrote the story about Sam Levitt the other day. Sam Levitt, obviously, if he enters the portal, will be a massive name. He'll be one that almost everybody is after. There's a lot of other quarterbacks. And it's interesting because we've had kind of a company, like we got specific intel about Sam Levitt that led to that story. As a company, we've kind of decided not to speculate on people who aren't in the portal unless we're told they're going in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other quarterbacks we could spin this out for.
And there's other people. And I think people
want to go down that road.
Play that game in their own head. People are playing that game at Fuddruckers at lunch with their friends. So like, you can do that and that's fine. The one thing that we both acknowledge though, and I'm happy that you agree with me on this, because sometimes we disagree on stuff like this, is that this is a much different decision than just is a 3-star defensive tackle on Oregon better than the 5-star they signed. Like there's more.
When it's your starting quarterback, it's a very different decision. And the difference, like the defensive tackle question, like maybe you move one of them to nose, maybe one of them's quick and can lose some weight and move to edge. Like there's all quarterbacks. You can't do that. It's a different situation.
Could you name a single more influential individual commitment to a program than Raiola in the time since he's done it?
No.
Like you might think Arch Manning because of how big of a recruit he was, but that didn't change Texas.
Also, that was before Dylan Raiola.
Oh, it was?
Arch Manning was in college a year before Dylan Raiola was.
You're right.
No, that it is since he did it, going into the class of 2024, he is the most influential one. So
I keep forgetting that Arch Manning was in college for 2 years. That's wild.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, it's not simple. Like even if TJ Lateef's awesome the next 2 weeks, it's not simple.
Michigan State, come on down.
Who's going to be coaching? Is Jonathan Smith still there or not? Like,
I don't know.
All of these things have to be answered first. And that's why the next 2 weeks are going to be bonkers.